Most people think 2-4 hour gyms are convenient. They imagine flexibility, quiet workouts, and no waiting for machines. But no one ever talks about what happens between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., the dead hours, when the world feels paused and even the staff refuses to stay. Ethan Cole worked night shifts as a security technician in a quiet suburban town. His job was isolating, filled with long hours staring at flickering monitors in empty buildings. To cope with the loneliness, he signed up for a 24/7 gym just a few blocks from his apartment. It felt like the perfect solution, somewhere he could go at odd hours, clear his head, and stay active without dealing with crowds. The first night he went in late, around 1:30 a.m. The gym was completely empty. Fluorescent lights buzzed faintly overhead, casting a cold, sterile glow across rows of machines. The only sounds were the low hum of powered equipment and the occasional metallic creak from the weight racks. It was quiet in a way that felt almost comforting. Ethan started with cardio, setting the treadmill to a steady jog. As he ran, he stared into the long wall of mirrors reflecting the gym floor. Everything looked normal. Rows of equipment stretching behind him, except for one treadmill in the far corner. It seemed slightly darker, like the light above it was dimmer than the rest. He brushed it off as a lighting issue and kept running. About 10 minutes in, a treadmill behind him suddenly turned on. Ethan froze mid-step. Slowly, he turned his head. The machine's screen flickered to life, and the belt began moving at a slow walking pace. There was no one on it, no footsteps, no sound except the steady whir of the motor. He stepped off his treadmill, his heart beginning to race. "Hello?" he called out, his voice echoing faintly through the empty space. There was no answer. As he cautiously walked closer, the treadmill's speed began to increase. 3 miles per hour, 5, 7. It was as if someone invisible had started running. A chill crept down his spine. He forced a nervous laugh and muttered something about faulty wiring before reaching out and pressing the stop button. The machine powered down instantly. Silence returned, but it no longer felt comforting. Over the next few nights, strange things kept happening. Weights would shift slightly when he wasn't looking. The locker room door would creak open on its own, then slowly shut as if someone had just passed through. And every time Ethan caught his reflection in the mirrors, he had the unsettling feeling that something was just out of frame watching him. Then, one night, at exactly 2:47 a.m., everything changed. Ethan was lying on a bench press, focusing on his set, when he heard footsteps. Not echoes, not distant noises. Real footsteps, slow, heavy, deliberate. They came from the hallway, leading to the locker rooms. Thump, thump, thump. He sat up immediately, gripping the bar tightly as his eyes locked onto the dark hallway. "Hey, gym's closed for cleaning," he called out, even though he knew it wasn't true. The footsteps stopped. For a moment, there was nothing but silence. Then a voice broke through it, low, strained, almost mechanical. "You shouldn't be here this late." Ethan's chest tightened. "Who's there?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. No answer came. Trying to steady himself, he stood and slowly walked toward the hallway. The lights above flickered as he approached, and the air grew noticeably colder, like stepping into a freezer. His breath felt heavier, visible in the dim light. He reached the locker room entrance and pushed the door open. Inside, the lights were off, but the mirrors were not empty. They reflected something standing behind him. Ethan's stomach dropped. In the reflection, a tall, pale man stood just inches away. He wore old gym clothes that looked soaked, either with sweat or something darker. His head tilted at an unnatural angle, and his eyes were completely black. Ethan spun around instantly. There was no one there. His pulse pounded in his ears as he slowly turned back toward the mirror. The figure was closer now, right behind him. Ethan stumbled backward, panic flooding through him. "What do you want?" he shouted, his voice cracking. The figure didn't move its mouth, but Ethan heard the words clearly inside his head. "You took my time. Now, I take yours." Suddenly, the entire gym erupted into chaos. Every machine powered on at once. Treadmills roared to life. Weights slammed violently against racks. The fluorescent lights flickered erratically, casting broken shadows across the walls. Ethan looked around in terror and realized something worse. Every mirror in the gym showed the same thing. That man watching him, getting closer with each flicker of light. Ethan ran. He sprinted across the gym floor, his footsteps echoing as he rushed toward the exit. Behind him, he could hear footsteps again, faster now, chasing him, closing the distance. He reached the glass doors, shoved them open, and stumbled out into the cold night air, collapsing onto the pavement. The noise stopped instantly. The gym fell silent again. Ethan never went back. He cancelled his membership the very next day, moved out of his apartment within a week, and tried to forget everything that had happened. But some things don't let go so easily. Sometimes, late at night, when he's completely alone, he hears it again, that faint, mechanical whisper right behind him. We're not done yet. And the worst part? According to the gym system, his membership was never cancelled because every night at exactly 2:47 a.m., Ethan Cole is still checking in.